All right, guys, let's take a look at congruent triangle proofs. Now, I know it's been a little while. We've had Thanksgiving, and it's been a minute since we've actually looked at anything with congruent triangles. So what we're gonna do, gonna ease our way back into it. We're gonna spend this first day just doing some really easy problems, okay? So first thing we're gonna do is we're just gonna identify congruent triangles. Now, look, they give you a really nice list here. If I click on this, these are the lists of different ways we could relate two triangles to each other. Now, some of them work and some of them don't. So let me just quick run through all the lists that works, okay? The list that works is SSS, SAS, ASA, AAS, and this one called HL. Here's a list that doesn't work. ASS or SSA and AAA. Okay, so if you look on here, this one, side angle, doesn't work. Angle doesn't work. Okay, everything else works. So what you're going to do is you're going to look at these triangles and identify which one they are. Now they've kept it really simple. There's no vertical angles, there's no reflexive sides. It's just straight up follow the markings. Remember, this little mark right here means that it's the same size as another angle with the exact same little mark. It doesn't mean this certain size, it doesn't mean anything, it just means, hey, if you find another one that matches this little mark, that means they're the same size. So when we're counting this thing up, same with these little marks on the sides here. If I've got a little mark, it's congruent to any other side with a little mark just like that. 2 marks matches 2 marks, okay? So you get the idea. So let's go ahead and count this thing off. So I've got an angle here, I've got a side, I've got an angle. Notice how I've got the 2 angles. Remember, the angles, it depends on how open things are. That's an angle. A side is, the side of a triangle, so make sure we have those straight. And notice how that matches the angle side and angle of the other triangle here. So these 2 triangles are related by angle side angle. Let me see if I can find it. There it is. Sorry. And that's on my good list, so it can be proven congruent. Okay? All right, so let's look at a new problem here. All right, so now I've got 2 sets of sides at an angle. So notice here, I've got a side, I've got another side, and then I've got an angle. And notice how that angle is trapped between the 2 sides, just like that angle side angle. Now I've got side angle side. This is not angle side side. Side angle side has the angle trapped between 2 angles, or the 2 sides. If I had the angle up here instead of this one, that would be angle side side because the angle is not trapped. There's a whole side here that it's not touching. So in this case, this is going to be side angle side and side angle side. That's on my good list. So I'm just going to mark side angle side and say that they can be proven congruent. All right, then we submit that. Looks good. All right, so we're gonna do a bunch of them. That's another side angle side. Let's look at, I'm trying to find a particular one. That's not it. All right, let's look at this one. Look at what I've got going on here. I've got an angle, I've got another angle, I've got a third angle. I've got 3 angles. Is that on my list here? It is not. Angle. I'm going to put angle in here. And that is not congruent. Okay, they cannot be proven congruent by angle. Okay. All right, let me show you one of the more tricky ones here. Ones where students get kind of confused. See if I can find it, if it will come up for me. Yeah, nope, not that one. Here we go. All right, that's what I'm looking for. All right, so all of these are pretty clear, right? Side angle side, all that's pretty clear. All right, HL. HL is the one where people have the hardest time, okay? Now, HL is a special kind of congruency statement. It is angle side, but with a right triangle. So notice here, I've got an angle and a side and a side. And normally, if I get angle side, if it makes a bad word, we shouldn't use it, right? Okay, or usually we call it side angle. Okay, so if it makes a bad word, we're not going to use it, except if it's a right angle, in which case it becomes hypotenuse leg. Because think about it, that's the hypotenuse, that's a leg, and that's the angle, but the angle proves to me that it's a right triangle. So angle side side works in one case, and we don't call it angle side side, we call it HL. So these triangles would be congruent by HL, and they are congruent. Okay, so just be on the lookout for that one special type. The rest of them, they are exactly what they sound like. Okay, and you should be able to solve them without any problems. So as always, if you have any problems or questions, shoot me an email. But this is something that we should be a nice kind of get back from Thanksgiving, get back into the groove of doing some congruent triangles.